morning, my fourth grade students of أطفال الرمث النموذجي school. How are you? Hope you are fine. Today, inshallah, we are going to start with the first unit of the second semester, which is unit 10, page 40. Let's start with the title of our lesson for today. The title is The Earth Isn't the Biggest Planet. The Earth isn't the biggest planet. How many pictures do we have in our lesson for today? There are 4 pictures. Who can you see in the pictures? Here we can see Dad, Mom, Kareem and Samira. Now I'm going to introduce the new vocabulary of the lesson. Look at the picture. What's this? It's the earth. It's the earth. And what about this picture? I can see planet. And the plural form is planets. Planet and planets. 3. Farm. Farm. Bright. Bright. Venus. Jupiter. And this is the planetarium. The planetarium is the darkest room in the museum. You can learn about planets and stars there. Here we have light versus dark. Light, dark. Hot, cold. Hot, cold. Now I'm going to read the lesson, then I'm going to explain it. The title of the lesson is The Earth Isn't the Biggest Planet. The Earth Isn't the Biggest Planet. Picture number 1. Kareem, why are the stars brighter on Uncle Hassan's farm than they are here in Amman? Dad, the stars aren't brighter there. The sky is darker there. You can see the stars. Mom, let's go to the planetarium tomorrow. We can learn about stars and the planets there. Picture number 2. Mom, this is the children's museum. It's very light in the museum. How are we going to see the stars? Dad, the planetarium is the darkest room in the museum. Picture number 3. Venus is the hottest planet. You can't make a snowman here. And Jupiter is the biggest planet. Picture number 4. Samira, the Earth isn't the biggest planet. It isn't the hottest planet, but it's my favorite planet. Yes, Rabia, look at picture number 1. I can see Mom, Dad, Kareem and Samira. They are looking to the stars. Kareem thought that the stars on Uncle Hassan's farm are brighter than they are in Amman. But Dad said they aren't brighter, but because the sky is darker there, so that you can see the stars brighter than they are in Amman. Mom suggested to go to the planetarium. She said that at the planetarium we can learn more about stars and the planets. In picture number 2, they went to the children's museum. Samira asked, it's very light in the museum. How are we going to see the stars? Dad said, the planetarium is a very dark room. It's the darkest room in the museum, so that you can see the planets and the stars easily. Picture number 3, they entered the planetarium. There is a man. He gave them some information about the planets. He said that Venus is the hottest planet, so that you can't make a snowman there. And Jupiter is the biggest planet of the solar system. In picture number 4, Samira said that her favorite planet is the Earth. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about the lesson. Where is the planetarium? Where is the planetarium? It's at the Children's Museum. What is the planetarium? What is the planetarium? It's the darkest room in the museum, and you can learn about stars and the planets there. What is the hottest planet? What is the hottest planet? Venus is the hottest planet. Can we make a snowman on Venus? No, we can't. What is the biggest planet? What is the biggest planet? Jupiter is the biggest planet. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Finally, what is Samira's favorite planet? What is Samira's favorite planet? The Earth is Samira's favorite planet. In English, we have 9 parts of a speech. We have noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, article, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. In this class, we are going to talk about the adjective. What is the adjective? The adjective describes nouns and pronouns in a sentence. The adjective describes nouns and pronouns in a sentence. We have 2 forms of the adjectives, or 2 types of the adjectives. The first form, or the first type, is the short adjectives. What is the short adjectives? Consist of 1 or 2 short syllables, such as big, small, short, thin, fat, old, young, and pretty. And you can check if the adjective is short or long by pronunciation. You see, big, it's 1 syllable adjective. Short, it's 1 syllable adjective. Old, 1 syllable adjective. The second type, or the second form of the adjectives, is the long adjectives. It consists of more than 2 long syllables, such as beautiful, dangerous, frightened. You can check if the adjective is short or long by pronunciation, such as beautiful, beautiful, 3 syllables. It consists of 3 syllables, beautiful. Dangerous, 3 syllables. Frightened, 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 2 long syllables. It's very important to distinguish between the short and the long adjectives before started talking about the superlative form. It's very important to distinguish between the short adjectives and the long adjectives before started talking about the superlative form. What is the superlative? What is the superlative? The superlative, we use it to describe 1 or more people, places, or things within a larger group. Look at this picture. I have a group of 3 items. I can say the bike or the bicycle is fast. If I want to make a comparative sentence, I can say the car is faster than the bicycle. The car is faster than the bicycle. But if I want to make a superlative form, I say that the plane is the fastest. The plane is the fastest. So that I'm talking about 1 out of a group. I'm talking about the plane. The plane is the fastest out of a group. It doesn't matter the numbers of the members of the group. I can say 3 items for a group of 100 objects. It doesn't matter. Look at this picture. In the left side, I can see 2 apples. If I want to make comparative, I compare between two people, between two objects, between two animals. Okay? In this picture, I have two apples. And I say, this apple is bigger than that apple. You see, I compare between two apples. But on the right side, I'm talking about one apple from a group of apples. I'm talking about one apple out of a group apples. You see, I said that this apple is the biggest. This apple is the biggest. I'm talking about one out of a group. Now we are going to learn how to form superlative sentences. We are going to learn how to form superlative sentences. It's very important to know that the superlative sentences of the short adjectives differs from the superlative sentences when the adjective is long. So that let's start with forming sentences when the adjective is short. What is the short adjective? Again, what is the short adjective? The short adjective, it consists of one syllable adjective, such as tall, small, cold. When we want to make it superlative, tall becomes the tallest. The tallest. We add est to the adjective. Tall become the tallest. Small becomes the smallest. Cold becomes the coldest. You see, we add est to the adjective. Look at this example. I have Ali, Ahmed, and Omar. And the adjective is tall. And the adjective is tall. I want to say that Ahmed is the tallest one. This is a group of students, مجموعة من الطلاب. I want to say that أحمد هو الأطول. So that I have to form a superlative sentence. This is the form. Subject plus verb to be is, are, or am. It depends on the subject. If the subject is singular, it takes is. If the subject is plural, it takes are. And if the subject is I, it takes am. Plus the adjective plus est. Then we have the complement. The first step, you have to check if the adjective is short or long. Tall, it's one syllable adjective, so that we add est to the adjective using this form. Yes, let's form a sentence. We start with the subject. The subject is Ahmed. It takes is. Then we have the adjective is tall. Then we add est, the tallest. For example, student. Ahmed is the tallest student. Ahmed is the tallest student. This is the form of the superlative sentences when the adjective is short. You have to pay attention to the spelling note. You have to pay attention to this spelling note, and we are talking about the short adjective. Before adding est, you have to pay attention to the letter before the last. If the letter before the last is a vowel, I, A, U, O, or E, we have to double the last letter, then we add est, such as the adjective big. The letter before the last is I, and it's a vowel, so that we have to double the letter G, then we add est, the biggest. The same is here in the adjective hot, hot, the letter before the last is O, so that we have to double the letter T, then we add EST. And what about the superlative sentences when the adjective is long? What is the long adjective? It consists of two or more syllables. It consists of two or more syllables, such as dangerous, beautiful, frightened. Okay? So that when we want to form a superlative sentence and the adjective is long, we don't deal with it as if the adjective is short. We add the phrase the most. We add the most before the adjective, so that the form is subject plus is, are, or am, plus the most, plus the adjective, plus the complement. Again, if we want to form a superlative sentence and the adjective is long, it consists of two or more syllables, we add the most before the adjective. We add the most before the adjective. Look at this example. Here we have a Look at this example. Here we have a group of animals. Here we have lions, cats, horses, dogs, and turtles. And the adjective is dangerous. The adjective is dangerous. I want to say which animal is the most dangerous. أي واحد من هاي الحيوانات هو الأخطر. So that I want to talk about one out of a group. I want to form a superlative sentence using the adjective dangerous. Before we start, I want to check if the adjective is short or long. Dangerous, 3 syllables, so that it's a long adjective. So that I have to use this form, subject plus is, are, or am, plus the most, plus the adjective which is dangerous, plus the complement. So that the sentence is lions, and because it's plural, I use are. Lions are the most. Lions are the most dangerous. The most dangerous animals. Lions are the most dangerous animals. Because the adjective is long, we use the phrase the most before the adjective.